I thought this morning I would tell you two important things about myself. First of all, I would ask you, how many of you like stovetop stuffing? I really do not like it. In fact, you know that the root of the word for stuffing comes from a French word that means boring. Being bored is really being overstuffed. The second thing is, I'm always fascinated at a buffet line. When you can go back as many times as you want, and yet I often see people coming back to their table with their plates loaded up, overflowing, running down the side, over their hands, on the food, somehow not trusting that there will be more, and more, and more. In the Exodus, the Israelites filled their bellies. In fact, they tried to stuff themselves. If you read the whole story, they wanted to hoard the manna. They had difficulty trusting that God would provide for them. In the gospel, people follow Jesus. Why? Because he had just fed 5,000 people. He filled their bellies, and they wanted more. If we really think about it, we can so easily become stuffed with God's blessings. There are so many blessings that God provides for us. So much that we get that sometimes we really end up getting bored with life, don't we? We get bored with life, we get bored with the routine, we get bored with God, we get bored with having so much. And yet if we are honest, how easy it is to want to continue just stuffing ourselves. And so there are those in this world that literally starve for bread. They are not bored with life. They are not bored with the same old iPhone, the same old spouse. They're not bored with the same old God, the same old clothes, the same old cars, the same old masks, the same old God, the same old, the same old. They're not bored because they're not stuffed with all the things that so many of us have. So today we are told that Jesus really does offer us a better bread, a different bread. Because when the love of Jesus fills us, and if we listen carefully to that second reading, when the love of Christ fills us, when we put on the new person in Jesus, when the words of Jesus fill us, we won't be stuffed. We will allow Jesus to lead us to a deeper hunger, a hunger for purpose, a hunger for meaning, a hunger for life, not just to fill our bellies. Doing God's work. Doing God's work. Remember the gospel? Jesus said, the disciples said, what is God's work? Doing God's work is a different bread. It means taking care of the poor. It means recognizing the forgotten Jesus among us. It means taking care of the unborn. It means sitting in the hospital with an AIDS patient. It means visiting those who are on death row and have been forgotten and sometimes are even despised. It's being with the one who is suffering from a life-draining disease or an elderly person with the disabilities of age. When we leave here today, we will know that there is a lot of God's work that needs to be done this week. We won't have time to be bored. And when we truly take to heart the words of Jesus, do this in memory of me, which we'll hear said from that altar, do this in memory of me, I guarantee you that when you walk out here today, when you walk away from this table, I guarantee you, you will not be stuffed. God bless you.